Thank you, sir.
You just start.
I'd like to thank the President, ma'am, for her address to the joint houses. And I'd like to focus my speech on the celebration of 75 years of our Constitution, celebrating our democracy and the constitutional protection that we are all enjoying. A leader that spoke before me spoke about our neighbor, a powerful neighbor, where there's a lot of development. But what is development worth without freedom? I have studied and grown up in India, and I've seen the diversity that thrives in India. And if we don't protect the diversity, then I think development is possible. But then the allegations of the opposition will become even more perpetuated of power and wealth being concentrated in very few people. Sir, last night I was supposed to prepare for this speech. I got really late. But for some reason, I've been wanting to watch a movie for the last week. The name of this movie is V for Vendetta. I first saw this movie almost 20 years ago, and it had a profound impact on me, but I still wanted to watch it again. I don't know why I saw it. And as I saw the movie, the parallel to my state of Andhra Pradesh over the last 5 years was so clear. On September 9, 2023, my leader, Chandrababu Naidu Garu, was arrested. Our leader, Mr. Lokesh's Yuvagalam Padayatra was abruptly stopped after 229 days. And we were all shocked. Soon after, less than a week after, we had the leader of Janasena Party, Mr. Pawan Kalyan, a senior leader in our party and popular actor, Mr. Balakrishna, and Mr. Lokesh go and meet our leader, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, in jail. And as they came out and they announced, Mr. Kalyan announced that we are going in this together. Today it is not about me, it is not about the TDP, it is about the future of the state of AP and the future of the people of AP. That went on for 52 days with him being in jail. A lot of uncertain times. On October 31st, he was released. And I was fortunate to be there in the road as he was released and leaving the jail. And I was standing on my car and I had a vantage point. And as he was greeting the people that were there to see him after so long, we were able to lock eyes. As I saw his eyes and the depth in those eyes, there were tears rolling down my cheeks. And then we left, all of us moved to Amravati, the leaders of the party, the cadre, the family. But he only reached there 14 hours later at 6 a.m. in the morning. Someone who was in jail for 52 days, over the age of 70, still sitting in the car, not getting up and greeting people across the way, wherever people were there to see him. It gave us strength to fight, to see somebody like that. And then 6 months later, the campaign, the elections, 90 public meetings, almost 3 meetings a day. And all of this was not about him. It was about the future of AP. And I think what he felt, what was he feeling? His hope was to remind the world that fairness, justice, and freedom are more than words. They are perspectives. I'll be taking quotes in the movie through this, sir. And I think at that point he realized that he knew the people were feeling something that he knew all along. There is a long dialogue, sir, from the movie. I want to paraphrase it. Sir. It appealed very true to me. Sir. Pale, Krishna. Kuchon, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Krishna, it's okay.
Please.
So
Please, order. Maintain order.
Sir, I'd like to paraphrase.
Please, continue. Address the chair. Please address the chair.
Krishna. Sir, I'd like to paraphrase a dialogue from the movie that I saw last night. It really stuck with me. And I think if I were to paraphrase what my leader was asking of the people, addressing it to the people from his voice, So if you've seen nothing, if the crimes of this government remain unknown to you, then I would suggest you allow the 13th of May to pass unmarked. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me 6 months from today, outside your voting booth, and together we shall give them a 13th of May that shall never ever be forgotten. And that's what the people have spoken, sir. We got a historic result of winning 164 seats in the alliance, I think with a vote share margin that was never seen in the history of Andhra Pradesh for over 40 years. But I'd like to go back, sir. What happened? What led to this movement? What led to this epiphany? In 2019, when we lost power and the new government came into force in the state of Andhra Pradesh, we very soon realized that fear became the tool of the government. Demolitions across the state, house arrests, assets being taken away. A recent example is the Kakinada port, which was taken over in a hostile manner. Fortunately, it has been reversed today. Financial and psychological warfare. And as the COVID started, we just saw that continuing. I'd like to make a quote here, sir. All of us were tested. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. From Macbeth. What does that mean? I have a responsibility to stand up and fight, but not to protect myself, but for the state. There was a psychological environment where many people wanted to compromise with the government to ensure that their assets are protected or they are protected. The university that I lead was attacked, and there was an intention to coerce. But with the support of our leader, we stood strong. And as time progressed, I could see that there were many people wearing masks. You wear a mask for too long, you forget who you are beneath it. Many people in society, in the services, seemingly decent people, started behaving differently. And people who were being oppressed, I could see hate building up. It imprisoned many people. But then what I felt was, it's not about giving back that hate. I'd rather die than give up. And what freedom is worth is that it is worth dying for. These few fighters, our leaders, our cadre, our well-wishers across the state kept us going. And all we realized is that we need an inch. An inch is all we need of hope to fight. And aiding our leader, Chandrababu Naidu Garu, we had our young leader, Mr. Lokesh, start his Padayatra on January 27th and continue that over 3,132 kilometers. We had Mr. Pawan Kalyan fighting against the oppression of the government and speaking up for those who didn't have a voice themselves. And finally, as we came closer to the elections, the tide started shifting and people started realizing that every action will have an equal and opposite reaction. We had our graduate MLC elections where unanimously we won all 3 graduate MLC elections across different regions of the state, sending a signal to the people that time has come. But as that happened, the ones in power, the more power they felt they had, the more zealous they became, and that's what led to the arrest of our leader. False cases. I had to argue with some people who were supporting the government that if there is something wrong, they will arrest you. And as I debated with a friend of mine on what is right, what is wrong, I found myself wondering that there is no absolute right and absolute wrong as we work in this world, in this Kali Yuga. There are some mistakes that are there on both sides. But more than individual right and wrong, there is something that the collective people will decide is right or wrong. And that's what the people have shown, sir. In Andhra Pradesh, they have given an overwhelming mandate for change. The opposition here in the central government have made many accusations against the government that we are a part of today. My question to them is, the population have decided, in spite of all these allegations, that India is in the safe hands of the NDA with the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, in the alliance with the Telugu Desam Party, the Janasena and all other alliance partners from all over the country. Difficult times test our democracy, but people have believed in our institutions. So there's a popular saying that I get reminded of. We may have lost in 2019. So this saying goes, you can fool some people all of the time, or you can fool all of the people for some time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And I'm glad that people have showed up and have given us the much needed relief to put the state back on track. I'm thankful for all the support. We have won the elections. We are here in front of you representing the government. And I'd like to come back to the Macbeth quote. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. I see an environment where people want retribution, revenge, but I feel that it's time to fulfill our responsibilities. Yes, to restore balance and justice, but not to go overboard. If we behave the same way that the government before behaved, then we are disrespecting the mandate that has been given. The state needs more than that. It needs hope for our citizens, for our youth. I'd like to conclude, sir. I don't know how I saw this movie last night as I was speaking on the President's address today in the Parliament. And as I've been in this journey long enough, I realized that coincidences don't happen just by chance. There is something greater at play. My takeaway, sir, is that when the intentions are good, when the intentions are pure, the universe reciprocates. And I think that it is reciprocated here also. With a renewed resolve, as a team, we are going to work together to build a better Andhra Pradesh, to build a better India and a better democracy for all of us to thrive in. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Sri Deleshwar, comment. Deleshwar.